What's good, YouTube? It is your boy Zombie Taco coming at you with another video. I got.
Oh, you leaked too fast.
My bad. I breezed through that a little too quick. Did
I was
not
gonna
go
be
as
like,
smooth as the first time.
you're like, I'm just gonna keep going. Fuck introductions.
Fuck it. The only gaming channel that still has the hots for Carrie Fisher, at least me. I'm sticking with that one. We did it last one, and this is the second time we've had to record this introduction. You know, because
people are rude as fuck.
People are rude, unprofessional fuckheads. And so, what are we talking today? We talking Star Wars.
The Force Awakens.
I got a Force that's awakening right now. Yeah. Sexual innuendos. In her endos. Whatever.
So before we go on any further in this video and Dan gets any more sexual harassment suits, we should let everybody know there are spoilers for Star Wars The Force Awakens. That's the whole point of this thing. We're going to fuck it up for everybody.
Yeah, hence the title, SPOILERCAST. Oh, Jesus. Anyways. Also, again, not again, because it's the first time. Fuck it. Anyways, first video that we're showing our faces. Don't give a shit. Fuck it.
And in case you hadn't noticed, Taco is white.
Yep. I know.
You may not see what I'm doing. Like, you see my hands, but I'm framing his white face.
Look like you were like holding a big old whale cock or something. Like, all right, let's stay away from shit like that. Let's stay on topic here. Whale cocks can wait. All right. But yes, been asked if I was black, and no, because they say I sound black, but I was like, what does that mean? I sound black. I don't know. You can answer that in the comments below. Fuck it. Have a field day with it. I don't give a shit. So what are we talking about first with the Wars of the Stars, man?
I don't know. What do you want to start with? You want to start with how
about we start with telling them go fucking watch it right now? Why are you watching us? Go watch that shit. Then come watch us.
Yeah, I mean it's good enough that I watched it on opening day on Friday, and then I watched it again today with Taco. So
yeah, and
I watched it twice in 4 days. It's awesome.
Yeah, I kind of want to see it again too. Now I know why you were so hyped to like hurry up and get my ass to see it. I mean, I wanted to see it, but I mean, I was being patient, and now I can understand why you want to see it again, because I want to see it again. I want that shit to be on like out to buy right now. Like, why is it not out to buy?
Yeah, the only downfall to watching it the day it comes out is I now have to wait 1.5 years to watch episode 8.
Yeah, and
May 20-something, I believe, 2017.
Yeah, they should just do it yearly. Like, they should have just filmed all of them right there. They should have pulled the Lord of the Rings, man. I'd have been excited
all consecutively. Like, we're done with episode 7. Let's get to 8. Let's get to 9.
Mm-hmm. Also, let's point out my stylish, Star Wars Force Awakens,
Captain Phasma
3D glasses. Yeah, Captain Phasma, that sexy Amazonian woman.
I have Kylo Ren and Stormtrooper glasses, but I left them with my girlfriend. So,
way to drop the ball.
She's also got a pair of BB-8s, which are pretty cool.
Yeah, we got them all. We got them all because we were like, fuck it. We love the wars. It's our favorite. The only people who haven't seen Star Wars are the people in Star Wars, and that's because they fucking live that shit. All right, don't let anybody tell you differently.
Okay, so now that we got the spoiler warning out of the way, we got the go watch this movie. It is worth whatever the admission is. Go see it multiple times. Also, I do want to say something real quick. I thought it was pretty cool that this is the new Star Wars movie, and it has had the highest single day. It broke the record for the highest. Like, it made the most money in the first day of release than any other movie of all time.
Yeah, the other movie that was holding that spot was Jurassic World, right?
No, they had the biggest opening weekend, which they actually lost to Star Wars.
Yeah.
They've already made, I think it was something like
500 some
internationally. Yeah, internationally and domestic, $500 million. And they bought Star Wars for, I think, $4 billion. They bought the franchise. So they're well on their way of making their money back with one movie.
Yeah. Well, you know, us fanboys and shit, you know.
Yeah, we go buy it. We go see it twice.
Right. I kind of want to see it again. Maybe might have to wait till it hits a different theater or something. I don't know. Maybe I get more money. Maybe I buy all the glasses again. I don't know. Fuck it.
I buy all the glasses, not just again, just all the glasses they got there. Just be like, I want them all.
I actually want to convert these into sunglasses. I might have to do some like DIY shit and do that because like that would be dope as fuck. I think they're like actually kind of cheap as fuck, but I don't care, man. It's Captain Phasma. Like that's orgasmic right there. Sex jokes. Okay, so what do we want to talk about, man?
Well, let's I don't know, let's talk about story.
Story? All right, you go first.
All right. I mean, you'll hear some negatives from me because I'm not so much a fanboy that I think every movie that is Star Wars is perfect.
Right.
So if you hear negatives, just take it as everything has problems with it. Nothing's perfect.
This motherfucker hates Jar Jar Binks, man.
I do hate Jar Jar Binks with a passion that burns deep within my soul.
No, I know I'm in the minority. I actually like Jar Jar Binks. I actually like the prequels. I mean, they're not the best. Obviously, the original trilogy is, but I like the prequels for what it was. But anyways, continue.
All right, so I'm just gonna get this out of the way now. My biggest problem with the story is it is almost copy and paste A New Hope.
Yeah, that was my issue with it too.
They did some things that were different, which I liked, but I mean, I don't know how someone didn't go, "Hey guys, this seems a little bit too much like."
Didn't we release this movies in the 70s or some shit?
Yeah, like, hi, here's a droid that has battle plans to the Death Star. Oh, okay. So how are we going to start off this movie? Well, why don't we take a different droid called BB-8 and let's hide a star map inside of him? Basically the same thing.
Yeah. Like that is one of the 2 or 3 things that I hated. And it's not that I hated it was pretty good. Like, I mean, they played it safe, I think. Because instead of going balls to the wall and going for it, I mean, they played it safe, but at the same time, they pulled it off. Like, it doesn't feel like exactly like the movie. It's got some of the same premises of it, but it's different enough to actually feel new, which I liked.
Yeah. I mean, it's a great movie, and I mean, it's hard to say that copying one of the better Star Wars films in general. I mean, it's obviously going to be good. There are definitely some differences, but it's just the way the plot works out for this movie. It's very much the same pacing as The New Hope.
There's a parentless kid on a desert fucking planet, comes across the droid, leads into a mission, ends up with a lightsaber that doesn't know how to use it. Yeah, it pretty much is just like fucking A New Hope.
Yeah, it's just A New Hope.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, that's my biggest negative for the movie. There are some other slight things that I wish they would change or have done differently. I
have another big negative, and it just could be that I had it all built up in my head, or my second big negative is Luke Skywalker is only in the motherfucker for like 5 seconds. Like, what the fuck is up with that shit? 5 seconds at the end. Oh, I'm all bearded now. Doesn't even show his lightsaber. Doesn't whip it out. I kind of half expect to be like, I've been waiting for you. Whips out a lightsaber and they clash at it and then credits. That would have been better. Whatever. I don't know. I don't make movies. I just fucking bitch about things. Because I'm a professional asshole, as my tag right here says, But
I'm okay with him being in it for all of, I think 30 seconds is what it actually is. Because I mean, he was the driving point for the plot. He was the reason. They were moving forward. So I'm okay with them saving him for episode 8. And I think that's inevitably it's going to be a episode 8. I think is going to be primarily around Rey, Chewbacca, R2-D2, and Luke.
You know what I feel like it's gonna be? I feel like it's literally gonna be episode 5 all over again. It's gonna be Empire Strikes Back, and the reason I feel that is because in that Luke ended up going and getting trained by Yoda, and like that's pretty much what started to happen towards the end of this one. Was she found Luke and it's pretty much just her and Chewbacca. So I mean, it's like, oh, they're gonna train her. So I just hope that they don't stick too close to the formula, because if they pull another move of redoing a movie that's already been done, I'm gonna be extremely pissed off. Again, I kind of give it a pass on this one just because it felt different. Like it was the same shit essentially, but it was still completely different in its own right. But
Yeah, the reason I give it a pass is I think it's more of they have to rebuild the brand, like they have to reintroduce the brand of Star Wars.
right,
So
like the original
play
cast and whatnot.
play it a little safe the first time, the 1st
Mhm.
movie. Hey, we know A New Hope worked for these reasons. Let's do that. Let's get everyone involved. Everyone's going to be like, oh, I love Star Wars. I remember why I love Star Wars, because the prequels did leave a sour taste in a lot of people's mouth.
Right.
So a lot of people were worried, okay, are we going to get a prequel type movie, or are we going to get the original trilogy? Do we trust J.J. Abrams? Is he going to follow the same mistakes that George Lucas made with? Because I know you
Prequels.
said you don't hate the CGI, but you go from the originals being more practical effects, more
I didn't say I
models.
don't hate it. I do hate the amount of CGI that's in there. I just appreciate the prequels for what they are, telling the story. Anakin happens to be one of my favorite characters because I don't know. I guess I can relate to that character a little bit more than I can others. Um, I don't know that, and I just thought he was a little bit more of a badass than Luke. I know, shoot me, my bad, my bad. I blame James Earl Jones' sexy ass voice for that, because that's who I knew as Anakin before Hayden Christensen.
Yeah, for Hayden Panettiere. I mean, sorry.
Hayden Panetta, yeah, Hayden Panera Bread, Hayden
Yeah.
Panera Bread.
But before we get off the subject of story, back to your thing about Luke being, you don't want the next movie to be a copy of Empire.
Yeah, I want them to go balls to the walls, because like every trilogy that they've done so far, the second movie is like the slowest fucking movie. Like, I mean, granted, A New Hope is kind of slow at first, and then it picks up, and then like there's that duel between Ben Kenobi and fucking Darth Vader at the end. But like, I don't know, like it was a whole thrill ride, at least for me when I first saw it. And yet the second movie to me was just slow, just like with Attack of the Clones. Second movie was just kind of slow as balls. I mean, they both picked up a little bit towards the end, but I mean, they always like start off strong. The second movie's just like filler shit, and then they just go bat shit nuts at the end, which is awesome. But I want it to be all rise,
Yeah. Now, I mean, a little backstory to go into what I want from Episode 8, or what I would ideally like to see. Backstory is the Empire has fallen. The Republic is back. There's a new faction called the First Order. They rose out of the ashes of the Empire.
Mm-hmm.
You have the Resistance, which also kind of confuses me. If the Republic is back and they are the ruling body of the galaxy again, why are they called the Resistance?
Again, it's
They're not. The rebellion and the resistance makes sense if you're fighting against the power.
right. Well, see, and I think that's the thing. Like, they followed A New Hope a little so much so that like they didn't show the what's the new shit called? What's the new threat this time? I forget what the fuck it's called.
Wait, I'm sorry. I'm lost. Like the guy?
No, I know Kylo Ren, but like what's their shit called? Like, whereas in the originals it was like the Empire.
Oh, the First Order.
The First Order, that's it. Like, they never showed the First Order coming into power. Like, and so like basically from what I took of it, which again, because they just followed A New Hope so closely, is that I guess the First Order, or the new First Order, whatever the fuck it's called, rose up and took over the whatever, and then their resistance again. I don't know.
To my knowledge, they're not the ones in power. They're technically the resistance, because the Republic was restored after the Empire fell.
Yeah,
And that's they're the ruling body of the galaxy now. So why they're their military force is called I don't know if it's their military force, but you get
Yeah, no, I
Leia's
know what you're
group of
saying.
people called the Resistance, but they're part of the Republic. So it's like me saying, you know, I'm I'm for democracy, and I'm fighting against a minority sect of people, let's say in communism, and I call myself the Resistance. Doesn't make any sense. I'm fighting someone who's the resistance to what the majority is. So why the fuck are we called the Resistance? Doesn't make no damn sense.
I really have no idea on that.
So I'd like some backstory on that. But anyways, back to the original point. You're trying. What they're doing is they're trying to find Luke, who is the last Jedi, and so they spend the entire movie trying to find a star map to get to him. When they get to him, they find out that he is looking for the first Jedi temple. So I would like to see in episode 8 some backstory into the Jedi temple. Why is he there? I mean, there's a reason he's been there for years. I would like to get some more story on Jedi. I think that would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
So I could see how they could do episode 8 different from Empire, because maybe they could do a team up where, Rey and Luke have to team up together to find out more about the Jedi, maybe about the Sith, who knows.
Also, I have to say, man, I love the new Stormtroopers outfits, like the new helmets and shit.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
At first, I was kind of like, but then I saw the movie and I was like, nah, dude, they're like, these are, I think, in my opinion, these are the best they've ever looked.
Yeah. So let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Who is your favorite new character in the series?
Oh, that's tough, man. Like, it has to be new character. It can't be
new
like
character. You can't. Okay. Yeah, you can't be like, oh, hey, Princess Leia's back. I love her. No.
No, yeah, the things I do to
Carrie Fisher. Character.
Carrie Fisher, hit me up, baby. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyways, I don't know. Like, see, that's the thing. They were all good. Like, I mean, with the exception of the joke that I said that Kylo Ren is basically a young Professor Snape, because it's literally who the fuck he looks like. Doesn't look like Han Solo and Leia put together and fucked and had a baby, and that's him. No, it looks like Professor Snape as a kid or a teenager, whatever. Kind of acts like a teenager too. But I don't know. I really love Rey. I'm fucking happy that they got a female like Jedi protagonist. She's not like officially Jedi, but you can see where this is heading. I'm excited for that. You know me. I root for the women.
Yeah. I'd have to say for me, it is tough because I do like Rey. I think she's a good character. Like I can't wait. Go ahead.
Oh, they definitely picked a great cast for this. Like that. Like I don't think anybody was miscast on this. I don't think there's anybody I would change. It was great.
I think they did another thing right this time with in the original movies, in the original trilogy, they used a bunch of no-name people. Like these people weren't famous. Carrie Fisher wasn't famous.
Right.
Mark Hamill wasn't famous. I think Harrison Ford was in 2 movies for like Francis Ford Coppola, and I can't remember who else. So relatively unknown people. Then they went with the prequels. They get Ewan McGregor, who has been in movies before. They get Liam Neeson.
I still think all those fuckers did a great job, but that's just me.
They got Liam Neeson, who obviously famous. Sam Jackson's in everything. Mm-hmm. I mean, you get all these people, and the only unknown person really was Hayden Christensen.
And he wasn't even really that unknown. Like, I mean, he out of all of them, yeah, he was probably the least known, but he was still a somebody. He wasn't exactly a nobody.
Yeah.
When that came out, because I even knew who he was before the movies. Granted, I'm a cinephile. That sounds dirty saying it like that, but that's a real term. Look it up, you sick fucks. But yeah, and then this time they just pretty much went with unknowns, except for, of course, the original cast.
The original cast, I'm pretty sure. I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank on his name, but the pilot I believe he has been in a few movies already. But as far as the person, I can't remember their name. I know John Boyega is Finn. I
Yeah.
know he hasn't been in a whole lot. I can't remember the name of Kylo Ren or Rey, but I
Yeah,
know they
they've
haven't
all
been in a
been in
whole
a
lot.
few movies, but they haven't been in movies I've heard of. So,
Yeah,
because I recently looked them up on their like IMDb. Yeah, IMDb.
yeah,
They've been in some stuff, but this is pretty much the shit that's gonna launch their career. And I say launch their career because they did a fantastic fucking job. Like
yeah.
this one is an emotion. It's an emotional roller coaster. It's got highs and lows, and like in a good way on the lows. And also, I have to say, this is probably hands down the funniest Star Wars. I mean, not to say that the Star Wars now is a comedy, but it's in the right spots. You know, like when there's tension or something, and there's a lot of throwbacks to like original things, like from the original series,
Yeah.
trilogy, not series. Fuck. Also, I have to say, I think Han Solo like stole the show. I'm just saying because like I don't know, like when I got goosebumps like when he came in and I was like I was fangirling and shit, you know, like it was ridiculous. And then like he was just I don't know, fucking loved him. Like I've
We'll
never
get
been the
more
biggest
into.
fan of Han Solo, but like oh my god, I fucking loved him in this movie.
Right. Let me finish like my favorite character before we get
Oh,
into
go
the
ahead.
Han
Yeah,
Solo part because that I have a feeling we'll have a big discussion about Han
yeah,
Solo.
yeah.
Uh, my favorite character is Kylo Ren. Uh, see, he's my favorite character because I think he might be one of the more complex characters out of
Yeah.
the new cast. Uh, I mean, I like Finn. Finn's kind of cool. The idea that he was a stormtrooper and decided that hey, what they're doing is wrong. That's cool. He's kind of the guy I think that keeps it grounded. Like he's the realist. Like
Mm-hmm.
there's no running from the First Order. Like there's no winning. We can't win. They're too powerful. We need to run. Like that's a human response. Like that's what an average person's response would be: is I'm getting the fuck out of here. I'm not
Right.
running towards it. I'm running away. Uh, Kylo Ren, I think he's just the most complex. It's cool because it's the first time in Star Wars. It's always been when it's Anakin, don't go down this path that leads to the dark side. Resist the dark side. Luke, don't go down this path. Resist the dark side. In the end of, in the Return of the Jedi, it's strike him down so you can become more powerful and you'll become a Sith and all that. You have a guy who is a Sith who's resisting the good inside of him. Like he doesn't. He's talking about being seduced by the light side of the Force. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that's it's a different mix, like a dynamic where finally you have someone who I want to be evil.
Yeah, like there's like they've kind of like displayed this a little bit like in previous ones, but I don't think to like this degree of what they got now. Like there you can definitely see that struggle a lot more. Like you've seen like Anakin like in Attack of the Clones, like when he fucking just went ape shit on those fucking raiders that kidnapped his mom and stuff. You've seen his emotional roller coaster. Um but it it wasn't what's the word I'm looking for?
See, his was that he felt bad for giving in to his anger, like because
Mhm.
he didn't want to give in to the dark side. The
No,
only the only person who really was like maybe had some internal struggle was Anakin would be Darth Vader. I mean, you could see that he kind of had that pull when he found out about Luke, and you
yeah.
know,
Well,
uh,
see, like I said, they both they show a struggle. It's just not to the degree that like is being shown here, and like you said, it's for a completely kind of like different reason. Also, I'm more intrigued about Kylo Ren's backstory or Ben Solo, you know, as his actual name is.
also while you're talking about that, do you think that? I mean, I think that he was named Ben after Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah, I was
Uh,
thinking that myself.
And I mean, I think that would be the most logical reason for why his name is Ben.
Hmm.
But and what just so everyone knows who's watching, Kylo Ren, if you didn't pick up on what Taka was saying earlier, uh, is the son of Princess Leia and Han Solo.
He's the Solo son. Yeah.
He's their child. Obviously, being the grandson of Darth Vader and
Which
the
is a small plot in this movie.
the son of Princess Leia, who we all know is Force sensitive because it runs in her family. He's also the nephew of Luke Skywalker.
Who ends up
Obviously,
training him.
yeah, he's obviously Force sensitive, so there needs to be Jedis in the world. So why not train him to be a Jedi?
Also, I love how midichlorians hasn't been said in this trilogy.
I pray to God they don't bring up midichlorians, because if they do, I don't know what I'm going to do.
Right?
With myself.
It's kind of like the TV show Archer. Like if y'all who don't know the show Archer. Their CIA facility was called ISIS, and then this whole ISIS terrorist shit started happening. Literally in the episode, you just see them wheeling out the letters and getting it. They just kind of throw it under the rug and don't ever mention it. And that's pretty much so far what seems to be happening with this is that they're like, due to backlash on the midichlorian bullshit, they kind of just swept it under the rug. Because again, I think that was only brought up in
episode 1. Yes.
Yeah. After that, it's like, nah, fuck that shit. George Lucas is like,
he's got a higher midichlorian count than even Master Yoda.
All right. But Force sensitive. I like that. I like that combination of words.
But I like the. I mean, so Kylo Ren at that point in time was Ben Solo, trained as a Jedi underneath Luke, who, as we've learned, was actually training the new group of Jedi, and was betrayed by Kylo. Well, at that point, turned into Kylo Ren, and that's why Luke left. I think he feels responsible. If you're someone's master and they join the dark side, I feel like you got to kind of be like, what could I have done to make things different? So, not only is it his nephew, which means it's his family, it was, someone that he was teaching, and he was their master, and they betrayed him, and from the looks of it, destroyed most of the new Jedi Order that Luke was creating. Luke ran away, which I guess is somewhat of a weird reaction for a Jedi to just leave. But
yeah, but then again, like all of them, like I think Han was the one that's saying like we're all dealing with this in our own way, kind of a thing. And that's my fucking cell phone. Great.
It's called Vibrate, man.
Vibrate. Again, I wasn't expecting a fucking call, Why don't you put your door on vibrate, motherfucker?
But I mean, like I said, Kylo Ren's my favorite character. I like I think what they could do with him is cool. I like the idea of being able to find out why he went to the dark side. The addition that he is actively trying to fight the good side. I mean, he even asks, the spirit of his grandfather to help him fight the temptation to be good, which is a little also creepy. Like you said, that he's just kind of got Darth Vader's
helmet,
burnt, melted, mangled helmet just in front of his bed.
Who recovered that? Like, what was like Luke? Like, oh man, that helmet was kind of dope. I wonder if I could salvage that shit. Also, speaking of Darth Vader, Kylo Ren, like the whole thing, and the it basically being New Hope redone, not redone, but done differently. Whatever. You could definitely tell that Kylo Ren is wants to be like his grandfather, i.e., Darth Vader. Because like even his outfit like reminded me a lot of Darth Vader. Granted, he's, as far as we know, like it didn't show like that he's got any like robotics on him whatsoever. So I don't think there's any. But like other than that, like I mean, literally his helmet is very reminiscent of Darth Vader, which I liked.
Yeah, and he I like the helmet. I like the voice he has with the helmet more, and I like his actual voice.
Right, because again, I just think fucking Professor Snape, being like leave the helmet on, Kylo, and you're good, but take that bitch off. No, also, I think it was want to say it was almost the first time that we've ever seen a Sith crying.
Yeah.
Because I don't really count Hayden Christensen crawling through a volcano crying, because like that's not emotional crying. That's motherfucker, I'm on fire. Like I hate you. Get the fuck out of here kind of crying. But like emotionally, like you see this motherfucker tear up a little bit. Not to call him a bitch, because he's not
also,
really.
Can I just say, first time I've ever seen a force power where they can stop a blaster.
Yeah.
Blast in midair. I thought that shit was cool. He just turns, freezes the dude, I forget his name, and freezes that blast just dead in the air, just stops it.
Yeah. Fucking crazy.
Yeah, I thought that shit was pretty cool. So I can't wait to see what turned him to the dark side. The newer character, who we don't know anything about really, the Supreme Leader.
Yeah, voiced by Andy Serkis. Like that's another thing. Like this movie does not have a lot of CGI, which is a good thing. But he is definitely one that is CGI. So I don't know what the fuck is up with Andy Serkis doing CGI a lot, but like I'm surprised he doesn't do it in every movie, because he does it in almost every movie. But
well, you played Gollum once, and then everyone goes, "Wow, Gollum looked really good."
Didn't he play it like 17 times? Like, I mean, because
he
like
played
each
Gollum
movie.
in each movie, and then he was also in Planet of the Apes, the new one.
Yeah.
So he did well in that. So I mean, I don't hate it.
No, I don't hate him.
CGI spots in the movie.
He's a good actor. But like I think one other creature was CGI, and it's that bitch with the goggles. I can't remember her name. Let's call her Goggle Bitch. Look her up. But and then other than that, it was just that monster that was on the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah,
not on the Millennium Falcon, but on the other ship.
Yeah, everything else was practical effects, which was awesome. Makes the movie look much better. So good for J.J. Abrams to only say, "Listen, let's keep CGI down to a minimum." And I think he used it in the right places. Like, you couldn't do those monsters any other way.
Yeah, like it just looked goofy as fuck. It looked like a fucking 1960s horror movie or some shit.
The chick, I don't know if you could do that in any other way. The woman.
Yeah, the goggles.
And the Supreme Leader. I mean, they
probably could have. They could have redesigned them, but you know.
Yeah, but you know, maybe later on he'll wear makeup or something. I don't know, but I want to know backstory on that guy.
Yeah.
What he's about, where he's from. I've already given you my two theories.
This movie is definitely like it leaves you wanting more, and it leaves you with questions, because like they didn't. Captain Phasma, she was only in a few scenes, and the scene she was in, she was really good. This was really Kylo Ren focused, as far as like the dark side, and it was really centered around his story, which is that he's family with and then trying to set up this whole shit. It's setting up bigger stuff, but it was a complete story in and of itself, which was awesome.
Yeah.
Also, awkward silence. Also, I had to say, my all-time favorite lightsaber hilt, or lightsaber in general, was Count Dooku's. But I had to say Kylo Ren's is my new favorite, because I just love the fact that it's like a actual broadsword kind of a thing.
Yeah.
The only thing I don't get, and I kind of hope they bring it up or something, it gets mentioned some way, shape, or form, is why his blade looks different than other lightsaber blades. Because even Anakin / Luke's old saber looked like a normal saber, so it's not like that they went with a different effect for the lightsabers or anything. I don't know why his is like that. I mean, it looks cool still, don't get me wrong, but
yeah,
I just want to know.
This one, it's more, I guess the way I put it is chaotic. The blade is more chaotic.
Yeah, it's got like stuff sparking off of it and shit.
Yeah. So it makes me wonder, maybe during his training with Luke, we don't know how far his training with Luke got.
Right. Maybe he had to like build it from scratch or something, and what he knew or something.
If you've ever played any of these Star Wars games, part of becoming a Jedi is when you become a master, or when you become no longer a Padawan. You build your own lightsaber,
Yeah.
and that's part of the rite of passage. Maybe Kylo Ren didn't get that far, so he kind of had to piece it together himself. Maybe that's why he has the little lightsabers coming out the side.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Either
But
way,
that
still
could be
fucking
one of the
love it.
reasons, maybe a crystal, because they use crystals inside. Maybe one of them are imperfect or that.
I just
But
hope it doesn't have the same issues that the prequels had, because I think we can all agree that, let's put it this way, that you may hate Phantom Menace, but you can't tell me that you hate Darth Maul, and you can't tell me that you hate the dual saber, because that shit is fucking awesome.
no, I don't hate it.
No, I'm not talking to you specifically. I'm
No.
talking like just in general. So, like, I mean, you can hate fucking Jar Jar Binks, you can hate the goddamn Gungans, whatever, but like, you can't tell me that there was something bad like that. But the only thing is the lightsabers never really got more exotic than that. Yes, I love Dooku's, but I don't really count that as an exotic because it's just a like slight bent. It's like a limp dick kind of a thing. I don't know. I just hope they kind of had more exotic blades or something. Like I hope. I don't know. I just hope that shit gets like cool looking. Like they get some like original looking shit instead of like, oh, it's the same other fucking hilt that's been in every other fucking,
Yeah, I get you. So I guess, do you want to go over? I mean, I guess I can go through my theories of who I think Snoke is, aka the Supreme Leader.
I don't really have theories on that. Maybe I would have if I watched it a second time. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Let's go tomorrow.
Well, I'll go
movie.
through mine real quick. I already told Taco this on the ride back to taking him home. It was he's this weird dude. He's got a giant scar across his face for some reason or another. He looks alien. I mean, he's definitely alien. So my theory, I have two. I think the more probable one is that, or the one I hope is, to my knowledge, and anyone in the comments correct me if I'm wrong, because it's been a while since I played Knights of the Old Republic, and I know most of the games are canon. And if you guys know that they're not, or heard someone say no, they're not canon, let me know as well.
The fuck do you mean by canon?
Well, like all the EU, the extended universe, all that was thrown out the door. J.J. Abrams even said none of that's true. But the games that came before, normally those are written and helped develop by Lucas Arts. Mm-hmm. So they kind of approve the story. So the story of Knights of the Old Republic, Knights of the Old Republic 2, all that is supposed to be actual canon, events that actually happened in the world of the Star Wars movies, but obviously thousands of years earlier. I know in the games that the Sith that you fight aren't really Sith. They're not Sith in the aspect of the race of Sith. They're people that emulate the Sith. So I'm kind of hoping that it would be cool if Snoke is maybe an original Sith. Maybe there was a sect of the Sith Empire, the actual race, out there somewhere.
I just remembered what your theory was.
And yeah, my theory is that maybe he is an original Sith. He is exactly the race. Everything that Siths have wanted to be is what he is. So I think that would be kind of cool. The other thing I think maybe happened, which I doubt, but would be cool, is if you remember in the prequels, oh god,
Sidious.
Darth Sidious. His master was Darth Plagueis. Yeah, I may be pronouncing that wrong.
Plagueis or Plagueis, something like that. Yeah.
But he talked to Anakin about how he was so strong in the Force that he could basically manipulate death. And he was struck down by his apprentice. Well, what if, because he can manipulate death, he never really died? And if he didn't really die, or if he found a way to come back, he would be able to live an extremely long time if he can manipulate death. So I think that would kind of be cool to come back and be like, the guy who taught your grandfather, and I could see that as being a reason why he would maybe join him over Luke, is he seems a really idolize his grandfather, Darth Vader, Anakin, to go, the man who taught your father to be a Sith, I taught him. So you could be like, whoa, maybe I joined that guy because,
Seems like a fucking badass.
yeah, if he was strong enough to teach my idol's teacher, then he's obviously powerful. And I could see that, maybe leading him to go, I'm gonna join up with this guy.
Yeah.
Those are my theories.
I have a theory. I lied. I granted I just came up with this because I like crazy retarded theories that for the most part never happen. But I'm waiting for like my random call outs because I do occasionally nail a random call out. So it's just my bag. I gotta do a random call out. So if you remember at the end between the fight with Rey and Kylo Ren, she ends up fucking slicing part of his face, a scar, and it's, if I remember correctly, it's kind of identical to fucking Snoke, that little fucker. So I'm just saying, this is my bullshit. Probably not gonna happen, but it's a crazy, ridiculous, retarded theory. But I'm gonna throw it out there anyways. That is Kylo Ren from the future, and he travels back to try and actually win this thing. No, I'm kidding. If that actually happened, I'd shit my pants though. And you heard it here first.
That would be impressive.
It's not going to happen. Trust me. I have it in with J.J. Abrams. We talk on a regular basis. Not really, but I'm pretty sure if I asked him that, he'd be like, dude, you're fucking high. And I'd be like, not right now. You want to? No.
So I say we get this out of the way. The big spoiler.
Yeah, which was actually spoiled for me thanks to fucking Facebook. And I didn't think it was gonna be true, and then also I had friends telling me it wasn't true.
That was
just
me.
Because they were trying to save face. They were trying to
trying to keep it real for you.
Someone posted a fucking internet meme, and it was basically a bunch of pictures, and it said, "You got your popcorn, got your candy, got your soda pop. Are you ready to see a movie? Getting ready to go to the movies?" Well, Kylo Ren is Han Solo's son, and he kills Han Solo, and I was like, "Man, I hope that ain't true." And then everybody was like, "Nah, it's not true, man. Han Solo's alive." And yeah, it happens in the movie. Kylo Ren strikes down Han Solo. I still think he's alive. I'm just saying, you can't kill off the Ford like that, man. Trust me, Dodge has been trying that for years. No. Right. Bad fucking puns there. I'm sorry, but seriously, you can't kill off fucking Han Solo. He fucking whooped Greedo's ass and he shot first. I don't care what Lucas says. Get out of here, motherfucker. And I have to say, even though it was spoiled for me, it's something that you see a mile away. So I feel like I really would have seen it coming before it actually happened. So I don't really see that as actually spoiled for me. I mean, it's spoiled a little bit, but
I could say as someone that it wasn't spoiled for, I thought I saw it coming, but I also thought maybe they could, make it look like it was going to happen. And in the scene, Kylo Ren drops his helmet, and at that point, I was like, well, maybe he is actually just going to come back home, give up on being evil. And he hands out his lightsaber, and I'm thinking, okay, he might actually be doing this. At that point, I was like, there was hesitation that they may not kill off Han Solo. That was obviously super wrong.
Yeah, there wasn't any hesitation for me. Also, the fact that I didn't also think that Kylo Ren being Han Solo's son is a spoiler either, because at the very beginning, when you first see Han Solo, he's talking about Kylo Ren and how he was taught by Luke, and I'm like, man, that's got to be clearly his son. I was like, it's got to be, even though I was already told that. So of course I had that lingering in my mind, but even still, it's shit you could see a mile away. But not in a bad way. It's not it's predictable, but not bad. It's still damn good stuff. And there's some things you don't see coming. Also, while we're on this shit, I have to say, they don't come out right and say it, but I'm pretty goddamn sure that Rey is fucking Luke's daughter. Just saying.
Yeah, they don't come out and say it, but I mean the evidence is there too. I mean, but they could be. they could be building the evidence, and then
there's
just,
gonna be like some big unveiling or some shit.
yeah,
Yeah.
just say it's not. But I mean, I think to me the biggest hint is you go with she finds Luke's lightsaber, Luke and Anakin's lightsaber, and when she touches it, she gets a flashback of her being left on Jakku. She hears Yoda's voice. She hears Obi-Wan Kenobi's voice played as Ewan McGregor when he's younger. She sees Luke giving R2D2 direct, like the map to his location. She sees Kylo killing some people, and then you find out from the little woman thing that, oh well, this is, you know, Anakin Skywalker's and Luke Skywalker's, and it calls to you. So I feel like it's to me it may
It's
be
super
too
obvious.
heavy. It may be too heavy-handed to go for, like, I can see them saying that.
I will be more surprised if she's not Luke's fucking daughter.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, but I have that slight hesitation that maybe they're just trying to lead you down that path to come out of left field and be like, nah, it's, you know,
I'll kind of be
Mace
disappointed
Windu's
because then he'll be like
adopted.
the fucking hermit. He'll be like some fucking dirty perv of a hermit, dude. I don't want my love for Luke to be tainted by him being a dirty hermit.
Oh Lord. Oh, one thing about the Kylo Ren scene where he kills Han, I loved the image. Like, I loved what they did with the lighting.
Oh, the blue and the red.
When he says, you know, I'm being torn apart inside, they show a picture of his face, and on one half it's red, and on the other half it's like a bluish white, and it's kind of like, I like the imagery that they had where there is good in him that he's fighting, and there's darkness in him that he's embracing, and he does have that inner turmoil of, you know, I think deep down he probably does love his family, and I think that's the reason why he kills his dad
Is
is
because he can't fully embrace the dark side until that's what I got from it.
And then I love that the sun burns out, and then it's just red, and it's like at that point he's like, I have to do
his
this.
ascension kind of a thing.
Like, this is when I give up my light, my good side, and become nothing but evil. So I like the way J.J. Abrams did the lighting for that.
Yeah. It's definitely a lot of good shit, man.
Yeah.
We could talk about this for hours. We really could.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of anything else that we really need to hit. I mean, one problem that I have that may not be a problem for some people. It took Luke X amount of years to master most of his force powers. You know, pulling a lightsaber out of the snow didn't happen until he was on Hoth in episode 4. Yet Rey, who had known she is force sensitive all of at most 12 hours, can force pull a lightsaber from 50 yards away.
Yeah.
No problem. And I mean, don't get me wrong, that might be my favorite scene of the movie. I literally had goosebumps because it's like, there's something about Star Wars. I could tell you the first time I watched it, I was smiling from beginning to end. Like, as soon as I saw the crawl, smiles. Like, I just was so happy to see Star Wars again. But when she force pulled that lightsaber to her and turned it on, it was just like, I don't know what it is about that, but that scene literally gave me goosebumps because it's just like, there is a new Jedi. Like, you could tell that this is something good. And to me, it's just, I hated that she did that within 12 hours. She just found out that she was force sensitive, and she was already talking stormtrooper. She was already using her force powers to bend the will of a stormtrooper.
Which is supposed to be like a really complex, like, you know, Jedi thing.
Yeah, and you have Kylo Ren, who's been training for obviously at least a year. I mean, for years, and he's able to kind of read people's minds because he can use the Force because he's been using it for years. This girl has been using it for days, and she's like, "You will let me out. You will open the door. You will leave, and you will drop your gun." Yes, ma'am.
Right.
You don't get to do that.
I felt the same way about that because, like, I mean, think about it. I'm going to bring up midichlorians again. Only because that's what was brought up. Like, I mean, you have in the original or the prequels, you have Anakin who's supposed to have a higher count or be more powerful than fucking Yoda. And at the time, Yoda's like the most badass. I mean, I still think Yoda's a fucking badass, even though when I was a little kid, he scared the piss out of me. I don't know why. I just remember hearing the story.
Dude.
Yeah, I just remember my mom telling me. Yeah, like I remember my mom telling me that I used to be scared. Not when the prequels came out, but like when I watched the original trilogy as a little kid. But
CGI is much less frightening than puppets.
Yeah, but so like and it even took Anakin years, and then like it took Luke years. It took everybody years to do this shit, but yet she could do it in like 5 fucking minutes.
Yeah,
it's a little out of place, but it didn't kill it for me. I don't think.
No,
and that's one of those nitpicky things.
Yeah, and I'll give it the benefit of the doubt if, again, I told you about this. If we don't know who her father is, obviously we think it's Luke, and if it is, she might have been she was left like I'd say around 7, 8 years old, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So
she might have had a little training or something.
Yeah, I mean, I know when they find Force-sensitive children, they start them off at a young age as Padawans. So she may have had some training. I still think even if she did have some training, I don't think they're teaching 6 or 7-year-olds how to Force, affect someone's mind with the Force like that.
Right. But usually they're like with the trainer ball and they're like, like that shit.
Now, the reason I give her a pass on being able to fight with a lightsaber the way she did is she seemed to be pretty good at using a staff.
Mm-hmm.
So I
thought you were going to say she looked. Oh, go ahead.
You're going to make it dirty for you.
Oh, I was going to say, I thought you were going to say, well, she looked like she was putting a lot of effort because she did look like she was about to shit herself. Like every time she used the Force, she looked like she was about to poop herself. Yeah. And I say that jokingly. I mean, again, great actors and actresses that they got throughout this, like great fucking cast. I wouldn't recast anybody.
Yeah, but for someone who's just learning that they have the Force, the ability to will the Force to whatever they want to do, the fact that she's able to somehow resist Kylo Ren's abilities and even use them against him, to me is kind of like, well, then what's the fucking point of learning how to be a Jedi if you could just, I'm a Jedi today, guys.
You could just wing it.
I can now read what you're thinking, Taco. I just learned I can use the Force 5 seconds ago. You're
I want Taco Bell right now, don't you?
Yeah. But it's like,
so where's my hookup, brother?
You've been training for the last 20 years of your life to use these powers. I've known how to for 10 minutes. Like, what's the fucking point? But hopefully,
you look like Zach Galifianakis there. Like if he was if he was in Star Wars, like, yeah.
But other than that, I mean, I don't have a lot of other problems with it.
I think my biggest problem with it is now I have to wait till the next one comes out, and it's going to be a long fucking wait.
Yeah, most definitely. I'm a little worried about the next one for the fact that J.J. Abrams isn't directing it, but I know he's involved with script writing. So,
well, okay, like I was about to say, because it wasn't like under like the title of screenwriter, he had the title of screenwriter for this one. I didn't see his name at all for the screenwriter on this next one. It was whoever the director is. I can't remember his fucking name for the life of me, but his was the only name listed for that. And same with the third one. His name was the only one listed for that. And he's also supposed to do, I think it's supposed to be the same director for the third one.
No, I think the third one does have a different director. I think all three have different directors. But
that might be it. But
what I read was that J.J. Abrams and I can't remember the name of the director for the second one were working together. Maybe it was just they were working together on the overall arc of the story, and he'll be in charge of writing dialogue.
I don't know. I just hope they don't fuck it up because they started off so good. Granted, I also hope they don't carbon copy the rest of the shit because granted, they did that. And You know, and normally it wouldn't get a pass, but again, even though it felt like we were treading similar ground, it was still different. Also, like going back to like the actors and the actresses, the cast, like just like just her Ray's reaction, like because she's been on Jakku like presumably her entire life, or maybe not her entire life, but she's been
At least
on there
since she
for
was a
fucking,
young girl.
yeah. It was at least when she was really fucking young that she's been on Jakku. It might have been her entire life. We don't know that, but we'll say vast majority of her life she's been on Jakku, which is straight desert planet. When we get to, I don't know what the planet was. Did they even say what it was? It was a really lush forest planet. It was really beautiful.
They never went over the planet. I know they talked about the like the system they were in, but I don't think they were talking about the planet.
Yeah, but the planet they go to is just beautiful, green. It was just beautiful. Like they were talking, and I wasn't paying attention to what the fuck they were saying. I was like, God damn, that's a beautiful fucking, that's a beautiful set right there. This place looks gorgeous. And like she ends up mentioning, how's it possible to be so green or something like that? And she's just pointing out, like, I'm like, it's just like that small little thing just like made it seem more real. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know. Not
yeah.
that
I
I
mean,
think that Star Wars is real. I wish it was.
but that's the reaction. Like I have family that lived in Florida their entire lives. They never saw snow.
Right,
They
and they
came
go
to
ape shit.
Ohio. They see snow. They're like, "Oh my god, I've never seen this. I've seen it on TV, but never thought what it was really like." If you lived on a desert planet with no foliage, then yeah, you go to a place that's nothing but a forest, you would probably be like, "Holy shit, this is cool." And
Yeah,
the director for the next movie is Rain Johnson,
that's it.
and the biggest movie that looks like he has directed was the movie Looper.
Looper. That
Yeah,
sounds
which
familiar. I don't think I saw it though.
it is. It's a movie that has Joseph Gordon-Levitt, or is that his name?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Justin Gordon-Levitt.
yeah, and Bruce Willis. It was an okay movie. It wasn't terrible, but so he's the one directing the next one. But hopefully, I feel like it's Star Wars. Disney isn't gonna let anyone destroy it.
I would
Then,
hope not, because they spent a shit ton of money on it, and if they
yeah,
destroyed it, obviously their fans are going to depict that by not buying another fucking ticket, and then
yeah,
they'll just lose money.
yeah. But one thing I'm excited about with Star Wars is when I went and saw it, uh, there were a bunch of kids there, and it's to me it's great to see. Like I have a kid myself, so it's great to see that you know
Resonate with the kids.
there's a new generation. Like this is introducing Star Wars to a new generation of kids. There was the original generation of people who watched the trilogy, the
Mhm.
original trilogy,
And then
in
there
movie
was,
theaters, and they loved it. They grew up having kids that they
and
showed it to.
then there was our generation that got the fucking prequels. Granted, I like the prequels, but
I
not as
don't,
much as the
I don't
original.
hate the prequels. I mean, they're not as good as the original
Original,
trilogy. And if the next two movies are anything like this first one, the prequels are going to be, I think,
the
the
worst.
bottom tier.
Yeah, the thing, because I watched Angry Joe's review, after we got back, because love that guy, and I kind of had to disagree because he was talking about, maybe it wasn't, maybe it was Boogie 2988. Either way, both of them are good people. But they were talking about, one of them was talking about the lightsaber fights, man, the duels. And like in the prequels, it was really stylized, and I actually liked that. I loved the beauty of the fights in those. I thought they looked cool. And in this, I mean, they still look good. Like it's weird. I didn't think I was gonna like it because I'm watching it. I'm like, it's not as stylized or whatever. It was just them like literally brutally hacking at each other, hoping that they don't fuck
Yeah.
up and die, which again, awkwardly enough was almost as beautiful as the stylized. So I thought that was kind of, I don't know.
Yeah, I did see a video that they were talking about the style of fights, and they made a good comparison. The original trilogy was more of a straight up sword fight. You know,
Hmm.
it was sword fight techniques or sword fighting techniques.
Yeah.
The prequels seem to be more of like a dance.
Yeah.
Is how they put it. It's more like you said, stylized, more fluid. You know, choreographed. Which I don't mean choreographed in a bad way, like it looked like it was fake, but
Right.
it was more of a dance. You see Yoda being smooth, jumping, doing flips. All the fights were kind of like that. This one was more of a raw power. Like, you know, the
And
strikes were hard. Like you said, they were going out like they wanted to kill each other.
I think that is because they are not experienced. I mean, granted,
Yeah.
yes, we know Kylo Ren. He's not like a Sith Lord or a Sith Master. He's just a Sith, really. Um, and he's still in training because it's referenced by Snoke that he's in training, and obviously he never finished his training with Luke. So I feel like it's just due to lack of training that's why they did it. Which, if that's the case, that's good because that's what I took from it. So if that's what they meant for it to be, they're doing their job right.
Yeah.
I prefer like the stylized. Like I had to say I love the original trilogy, but the sword fighting in that or the saber fight, it wasn't my favorite because I mean, granted, it was good at the time when it came out and it was awesome, but like I don't know, I just liked the stylized fighting because I figured that's how I think a Jedi Master or a Jedi Knight would actually fight. They're in tune with everything around them that they would be able to do shit like that. That's just my opinion, but
yeah, most definitely.
But no, I didn't think I was gonna like it because at the time I was like, and then I'm like, then I thought about it. I'm like, no, I actually kind of like it. Again, I just think it had to do with like their inexperience or whatever.
I liked.
Also,
Go ahead.
no, I forgot what I was gonna say. Go ahead.
Yeah.
It's all good.
I was gonna say I liked how with the commercials that they did, they made everything seem one way. In the commercials were somewhat misleading. So two things, they kind of made it seem like Chewbacca and Han Solo are in the Millennium Falcon when they're flying over Jakku. They kind of made it seem like they were the ones piloting. I thought it was kind of cool that uh, really in the movie
How it
it's
was actually introduced. Yeah.
yeah it's Ray and Finn. So I thought that was kind of cool.
I
And
also
then
love how they called it a piece of junk.
yeah, in the beginning, that's a piece of junk, and then they get in it, and it's obviously the Millennium Falcon. Uh, and then I like how in all the promotional stuff, they kind of made it seem like Finn was the Jedi. You know, he had the blue lightsaber, he was fighting Kylo Ren, and I just thought that I like how they did this ad campaign where they wanted you to think one thing, but really it was something completely different.
Yeah, but it wasn't like a complete switcheroo like the Halo 5 trailers where
No,
they're like, hey, this is how it's going to be. And then it's something completely different. Because literally all the resources they did, all the shit that they used was in the movie. Like, at least out of the
yeah,
ones that I've seen. It's just the way that they cut and spliced it together. It led you to think. Like, it was you doing all the thinking. They didn't tell you shit.
yeah.
It wasn't like they were like, oh, hunt the truth. And then, like, what the fuck? We're not actually hunting, really.
Yeah, it wasn't. I'm not saying it like they
No, no.
lied.
I
It's
was
just
just clarifying it.
yeah,
Like,
the way they made it seem like, oh, so Finn must be the Jedi in this movie because he's got a lightsaber, and then it's like, no, he just had a lightsaber. Like, you
no,
don't have to be a
they just
Jedi to use a lightsaber.
exactly. They just cut it to they just cut it and showed different cuts, and then you basically drew your own conclusion.
Yeah,
So, which I don't find that style of advertising bad at all. Because again, like I tried to stay away from watching all the trailers. I only watched like 2 or 3. I don't know if they had any more than that, to be honest with you. But I didn't watch them until relatively recently because I got impatient. I really wanted to see it. And I was like, man, this looks good. And again, I did the same thing. I drew my own conclusions from watching
from
that.
the trailers. Yeah,
And I wasn't disappointed. If anything, I was more surprised. And I'm glad, even though shit was predictable in the movie, it wasn't predictable because of the trailers. Because I personally believe that trailers these days show too much.
yeah, yeah.
Also,
I'll agree with
we
you on
never
that.
got to talk about that Batman trailer, did we?
Yeah, we'll have to do that in
Yeah.
a separate video. So, do you have anything else you'd like to add to the overall? Because I figure we could go over some closing points, and then I'm gonna give it a score, kind of like a review.
Yeah, I'll definitely give it a score too. But I don't think I have anything else, man. Not that I could think of. If we missed anything, or if there's anything you guys want to talk about, leave it in the fucking comments, man.
Yeah, we'd love to hear from you guys. To me, the way I mean, I don't have anything to say to add on to it other than, to me, go watch it. It's a super strong opening.
Take your girlfriend
For the beginning of the next
the
trilogy.
New trilogy.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's as strong as open as you can get. I mean, it's up there with A New Hope. I mean, they're very similar in the way the story.
It's not as good as the original trilogy, but it's like, okay, here's the original, and then here's like the new shit. It's almost in line. It's not as good, but it's
as close as you can get, yeah, without being the same movie.
I just did think of something actually. Maybe I did say, I don't know. Did I say how much it was like a comedy without actually? I think I did.
We didn't. You brought it up. We didn't go into there. It is. I would say maybe the funniest.
It's definitely the funniest. It's not a comedy. It's still Star Wars, but there's just lighthearted. Like the comedy comes at like the perfect moments. Like it just smooths everything. I don't know how to say it.
I want to make the distinction of it's comedy. It's not the. I think one of the problems with the prequels, especially Phantom Menace, is for some reason or other George Lucas thinks that some Star Wars fans are stupid, and that fart jokes are the funniest thing in the world. So you have Jar Jar Binks stepping in a pile of crap. I didn't find that super funny.
Yeah, like, it's not the amateur. It's not the like the 2-year-old jokes. It's just actual like. I mean, I'm not saying you're gonna laugh your balls off or anything, but you're gonna get a good couple of chuckles, and it's not just gonna be because someone shit or someone farted or Yeah,
you get the little humor things like Finn is lying to Rey, and he's like, BB-8, tell him where it's at, and BB-8 doesn't know what to do, so like he's looking at Finn, looking at Rey, looking at Finn, looking at Rey, and like that whoever was working the animatronics for that did really well because he kind of conveyed the I don't know what to do, and it was funny. And then finally BB-8 does it, and you get Finn gives him a thumbs up, and then you get a little thumbs up from BB-8
like
with a blade. Yeah, like a little lighter comes out for a thumbs up. Funny. I would say I think just about everybody in the theater laughed at that because it was funny. Yeah. You don't get these stupid jokes where, cheap laughs. It's actually like they're, offhand, like off the cuff comments and stuff like that are funny.
Also, I'd like to add that if you've never seen Star Wars, first off, go watch Star Wars. But you do not have to see all the original Star Wars or any of the Star Wars movies in order to like this. You will be better prepared for it. Like you'll know the lore a bit better, but it's not necessary. Like they do a good enough introduction, and a lot of things are said that allude to things that had happened in the past. And if you know your Star Wars, like most of us know our Star Wars, you'll get that, and you might laugh yourself. It just points out things that true fans. There's a lot of great fan service in this. So, but
it does everything right to get a new audience, get young people who haven't seen the Star Wars, haven't seen the other Star Wars movies, into it, but it doesnnn forget who made Star Wars.
Yeah, it doesn't forget its fans.
Yeah, the people who were around in the 70s when the original came out, they made, like you said, they did service to the fans for that. You did stuff for the prequel. It's set up that it remembers who were fans first, but it's also trying to start this new generation of Star Wars fans that, hopefully in 50 years we'll be watching Star Wars episode 25.
Dude, I hope in 50 years we're way past 25, man. I'm hoping we're like up in the 70s, maybe trip digits, dude. I would be fine if there's a new Star Wars movie like twice a year, as long as they don't run out of ideas. I just love Star Wars,
So do I. So, I mean, the most I could say is go out, watch it. It's a great movie. It's worth every penny to watch. watch it twice, 3 times, 4 times. Buy it when it comes out. Just seriously, it's a great movie, and to me, does justice to the Star Wars brand.
I know I said I didn't have anything else. I did think of one more thing because you brought up
Taco,
BB-8.
the person who keeps saying, I have nothing to say.
Yeah, I'm
as
sorry.
I'm trying to close out the section of the video. Wait, I have something.
I do, and I'm sorry, and it's kind of big because we didn't really touch up on R2.
BB-8 is really Jamaican prostitute.
No, but it is about BB-8 though. I thought I was gonna fucking hate BB-8. I really did. I thought I was gonna fucking despise that little cocksucker because I am R2-D2 all the fucking way. And R2-D2 does make an appearance. It's a small cameo. Actually, he's got more screen time than Luke Skywalker, to be honest with you.
That's true.
But it's good. I like the way they did it. But also, I like BB-8 because he, without copying R2-D2, he's got the same. He's got the same fun spirit of R2-D2. He's everything that made you fall in love with R2-D2 in the first place, and more, and in a different package. But that's all I want to say on that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, yeah, we didn't really talk. There's a lot of characters we glossed over, guys. So if you want to hear more about certain characters, let us know. We'll try to talk about it.
Yeah, or just leave it in the comments, man. We read comments. We reply to as many as we can.
Yeah, but yeah, BB-8, I was with you on that. I was kind of like, this seems like they're trying to push, like, well, we couldn't put someone like Jar Jar Binks in because you guys would hate us, because a lot of people didn't like Jar Jar Binks. So we're going to put a mini R2-D2. And I was like, but you already have R2-D2. But it is different for some reason. I know kids are going to love BB-8. I know my girlfriend loves BB-8. That's why she wanted the BB-8 3D glasses, even though they were literally the dumbest looking glasses out of all of them.
Yeah, definitely.
But she likes BB-8. I'm sure that a lot of people like it. So good job on them to make another droid that's
an instant classic.
Yeah, that's not R2-D2. Also, it was a little sad. I was a little sad, at least, when BB-8 pulls off the sheet of R2-D2 and like kind of bumps into him. Like, wake up.
And R2-D2 didn't respond. Yeah, I was like,
that's tugged at the heartstrings a little bit.
Dude, they're gonna be like best friends, man. I'm telling you, it's gonna be a thing.
Also, on the thing of droids, C-3PO didn't have a huge part in this movie, but I love how every episode, C-3PO is always kind of like the annoying dick that's around, like
the unintentional dick, but the annoying one.
Han sees Leia, Leia sees Han. It's like, I haven't seen you in such a long time, and then, hello, Mr. Solo, it's me, C-3PO. It just like pops in.
And here's Leia. Oh.
So like, I like that they're kind of sticking with that, because he was always kind of like the awkward one.
Also,
where he didn't get social cues.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I like that they're sticking with that. So I'm just super stoked about the new trilogy and can't wait for 2017.
Right.
Year and a half, and we'll get some more Star Wars.
Yeah, it's a long wait, and I think with that, man, we're gonna
give it a score.
Yeah, give it a score, and then we'll be done with it. Who knows? Maybe Carrie Fisher will call me. Probably not. But
wait, real quick, I don't know why I just thought of this, but for some reason, the chick that plays Rey reminds me of, oh my god, I can't remember her name. The chick from Pirates of the Caribbean.
Keira Knightley?
Yes.
I didn't get that.
I got that. Like, to me, they look somewhat similar, and it bothered me.
She's hot, and she could call me.
But like, for some reason, I was sitting there. I was like, she looks like somebody, and then about halfway through, I was like, she kind of looks like the chick from, like, at least smile wise. I guess, I don't know. Maybe I'm stupid. Anyways, that's got nothing to do with anything. I just thought she reminded me of her.
Well, all right. So, what score are you gonna give this Bad Mamma Jamma?
the fanboy in me wants to give it a 10,000 out of 10 because
I'm in that same fucking boat. Like I'm trying to be impartial about this shit.
I think I can go without a doubt a 9 out of 10. Like it's up there because to me, A New Hope would be a 9.5 out of 10 for me.
Right.
Because I don't think it's a perfect movie. I think it's hard to give anything a perfect score, but it's right behind A New Hope. And so I would say that it is at least, you could
don't
say
have to justify
8.5.
for me, dog. You ain't got to justify.
I don't know, but you could say 8.5, and I think that would also be a fair score for some people. But for me, I enjoyed it enough to watch it twice within a few days of itself. So I'm safe with going a 9 out of 10. It is a must-see. If you love Star Wars, you have to see it. Even if you haven't, if you like sci-fi,
this is a great one to jump on.
Yeah, this is a great time to jump into. Don't jump in next, in 2017 when you're, in episode 2 of a trilogy. Watch the first one now. Get involved. Fall in love with Star Wars for the first time, and then once you fall in love with it, go watch the other 6.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with them, man. I mean, even the prequels. I mean, people hated them, but the people who hate them, I guarantee you, they're probably still in their Star Wars collection. And I guarantee you, when they watch through like all of them, I guarantee you they watch them.
Oh yeah,
because even though they hated them, they weren't bad movies.
No, they weren't terrible movies. They're Star Wars. You can't go wrong with Star Wars, except for the Christmas holiday special. You can go wrong with Star Wars.
Yes, you can. That was terrible. Man, I think I'm in the same boat as you, man. The fangirl in me wants to did I say girl? Yeah, I meant to say that. Really wants to drop my panties and ride this.
Just let it make sweet love to you. Yeah,
just let it ravage me, dude. Like I'm ready to be taken advantage of. But so like if you're, I'm just gonna say this: if you're a fan of the series, it's awesome. I'm gonna give it a 9 as well. It's
nice.
I can't really think of much to dock it off. I mean, earlier it might have sounded like I hated some things, but like those are minor, like they're minuscule, they're minute little things in comparison to the whole fucking movie. So
oh yeah, most definitely.
If it wouldn't have been like a carbon copy of like A New Hope, I probably would have just been like, bitch, it's a fucking 10. I don't care. Sue me, But like that's the thing that holds it back for me, is that it is literally like a carbon copy of A New Hope. So yeah,
that would be one of the reasons why I gave it the 9 out of 10. You can't. I mean, everyone says if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, but then look at Call of Duty.
Yeah, but for me, if they would have just made it maybe a little bit more different from A New Hope, it would have been a 9.5 easy, because you just can't find a droid that has a secret thing to go to it and then go to a giant Death Star, because seriously, out of the 7 movies now, they've had a Death Star in 3 of them now. And A New Hope.
Hold up. A New Hope, they were rebuilding it in Empire Strikes Back. It was rebuilt completely in Return of the Jedi.
I wasn't counting the rebuilding part.
Oh, well,
if you want to, then
also in Episode 3, the beginning of the building, and then now they got a new Death Star. It's a Death Star. I don't care who it is. I don't give a fuck that it's a planet. It's a goddamn Death Star.
But it's a Death Star.
I think they just called it Star Killer just because, Darth Vader's Secret Apprentice. That's just me. I don't know. That's a discussion for another time, because we went way too fucking long with this thing, like we always do.
First off, you could never go too long with Star Wars.
Oh, I thought you were going to say in bed. I was about to be like, bitch, yes, you can.
You can never go too long in bed.
Right. All right. So if you guys liked it, give us a thumbs up. If you hated it, cool. That's cool too. Still give us a thumbs up.
Either way, thumbs up, subscribe, like, comment.
Yeah, all that fun stuff.
Follow, Twitch us, call me on my cell phone.
Yeah. Late night when you need my love.
Send dick pics to Taco.
All the dick pics. All right. Till next time, guys. This has been the Altar Boys. We'll catch you later.
Later.